Hello, students. How are you? I just want to record this quick message as I'm getting more and more, messages from students, and they are telling me that the homework is working, and they kind of already are sending me feedback. So, our course, how to get started one rental at a time, is out. Description or whatever below. But here's the deal, right? As I promised, right out of the gate, the first section, step one, whatever you want to call it, requires you to do some homework, right? It requires you to pick your market, right? Whatever that is, and to start looking at some real estate. It can be done online in the beginning, as we talk about in the course. But then you're supposed to go in and start, in step two, understanding the numbers. And then the real magic happens when you get to step three, which some of you are at already, which is awesome. You're sending me your spreadsheets, which is exactly what I was hoping would happen. And we're looking at your deals. And a couple of you have asked is, hey, basically, why are my numbers negative? Well, the simple answer is there's a lot of bad deals out there. And if you happen to live in an expensive market, the Bay Area, Southern California, New York, lots of other areas, it's hard to find a deal that makes sense as a long-term buy and hold rental. And this is what the spreadsheet's supposed to help you understand, right? I'm sorry, not every deal, not every property out there is going to be a good long-term hold. And that's part of what I'm hoping I share with you. Also, please understand that, yes, the course has been out there for 2 weeks. So even if you look just every day for 2 weeks, you've got weeks ahead of you to keep looking and learning and staying focused on your area. The other thing you'll start to realize is the spreadsheet. There's only certain variables that you can play with. For example, many of my people who buy what I produce, you're not going to get by with just 20% down, right? You want to be conservative. You don't want alligators. You don't want a market cycle to turn around and hurt you. You want to be able to hold through a bad time should those come. So most of the people I work with are putting down at least 35%, kind of 30 to 40%. But if your situation is, hey, I'm over 50, I have some kids that are going off to college around that time, and I want this to be their asset, great. That's your call. But let's go into this informed. So as you're doing the homework, yes, lots of the properties you look at will be negative cash flow. The number at the end will be negative. A couple of things. First off, just play with the numbers. Increase your down payment by 10, 15, 20%. At some point, all properties go positive. But that's, again, goes against the whole high leverage game. The high leverage could be 80%, right? It could be LTV, loan to value of 80%. That's high leverage for me. I just did a couple of refinances and I did it at 60% just to show you how conservative I am. Now I realize I'm in a different position, right? I'm in the kind of manage and tweak my portfolio stage, and you're in the growth stage. So maybe you want to put a little less down. So maybe it's 70% LTV, but you don't have to put 20% down and get an 80% loan. Those don't cash flow all that well. Certainly not in California. So you have to be willing to put more down. The other thing that this will do is after you spend weeks doing this, you'll find out if you need to pick a different market. I would tell you not to pick a different market yet. It's only been 2 weeks if you're a student of this class. But realize that maybe after 3 or 4 months, it may be time to call it. But hopefully by then you've really gotten used to the process, right? How to investigate a market, look at a market, understand, and then put it in the spreadsheet to see if it's positive or negative. The other thing you need to realize is how certain are you in your rents, right? Because there's an expense side of the equation. A friend of a friend, can you check them? Can you go online? Because again, if your rents are off $100 and that you're low $100, that will obviously impact your return. Obviously, it'll also artificially affect it if you're $100 high. Most of the numbers I've seen seem really conservative on rents, which is good. But if you're really going to produce a beautiful house that's totally turnkey ready, you could probably get more than the average, because again, you have supply and demand on your side, right? You've produced an asset that's nicer than what's out there. So you should have your pick of the litter. Now, you're not going to get hundreds of dollars more, but it's possible to push it 50, 75, maybe 100, depending on your area. So in the end, if you are a student of mine and you're doing the homework, thank you. Hopefully you liked that the course started right with homework. I want this course to help you learn and give you a skill that you'll have for years to come, right? Hopefully what you're learning in this course is something you can transition to any market at any time. It should be that simple and straightforward. And that's what I feel about this is I want you to do the work, but I also want you to be building confidence. I don't want you to get stressed out, right? If you've done dozens and dozens of properties and they're all negative, send me an email, send me some of you have already done that, which I appreciate because I want to help you. You're my early students, and I want to interact with you to make sure that this course is valuable to you and to the hundreds or thousands that are to come. So in the end, I need to hear from you. I want to hear what's working, what's not working, what you need more explanation on. But in the end, the few that have sent me spreadsheets already, thank you. We've made a couple of tweaks to some of them. But at the end, don't get stressed out if they're negative. Play with the numbers. See what happens if you put more down. See what happens if rent goes up $50. Because most of the stuff is stagnant, right? The expenses that I'm asking you to assume, the mortgage payment is whatever you can get. So we just have a couple of variables to play with. Also see what happens when you lower the price, because again, price is just a number, right? It's just a starting point. Part of this is the spreadsheet is to tell you, well, hey, I like this house, but I can't pay 500. My model breaks unless I pay 425. Well, guess what? Great. 425 is the number you need to spend. And that's why lots of people say no to my offers, because I submit offers that make business sense to me. Sellers may not like them. Most of the stuff on the market's not going to work for you. But if you're a student of mine and you do the work and you put out the effort, you will find those deals. And again, remember, it only takes a couple to change your life. If we can get you to 4, I think you're going to be in a great financial position. So in the end, I want to thank all the students who've signed up already. I really want to thank the students who've started doing the work and started sending me your spreadsheets. That's awesome. Most of my reviews early in the morning before anyone's up. So if you send them to me, I don't know, after 10 a.m., I probably won't get to them until the next day. But I will get to them. So at the end of the day, have a great day. Please keep doing the homework. You're learning. The process is working, and have a great day.